Hello, my name is Ormando with All My Sons Moving and Storage. Three years ago, we were on a decentralized model whereby which each office handled every one of their phone calls. We decided to go to a centralized model by which we would then have a call center that would take all the calls for all the local offices. That created certain struggles and certain resistance among the local operators with the call center. We needed a solution that would better manage the intercommunications between the offices and the call center. In essence, we needed a unified solution. With this unified solution, we had some cost concerns. For example, before the phone calls used to go to a local office, there was no long distance charge. Now when the calls were coming to the call center, there was a long distance charge. Since we have 37 locations across the United States, that could add up very quickly. So we were concerned of how we were going to manage that cost as we expanded our call center unified model. Initially, cost was one of our main decision factors in choosing to go with Unified360. However, as we got into communication with them and we began to understand what was available through the unified solution, we saw other benefits. For example, operating efficiencies. Let me give you a few of those examples. 80% of our calls into the call center prior to Unified were non-sales related calls. Where's my truck? I need to cancel my move. I have a claim. I have a customer service issue. So that was tying up my salespeople to handle customer service calls and sometimes logistics calls or even vendor calls. So it wasn't very productive. With the unified solution, we were able to integrate our phone system directly with our database. So when the call would come in, the system is smart enough to know where to send the call. So if a customer was calling us the day of the move, that call would go directly to our dispatch. If a customer is calling after the move, it would go to customer service. If the customer is calling us and he's in the sales process, it would go to my salesperson. In addition, if it was a large move, it would go to specific salespeople based on their skill sets. If it was a long distance move, it would go to specific people based on the skill sets. So it helped us make our operation highly efficient. And in these tough economic times, what we were able to do was manage leads better than anybody else in our industry, which has been a winning formula for us and has allowed us not only survive in these tough times, but actually grow. Since implementing our Unified360 solution, we've been able to grow significantly even against a downward trend. We believe that's because we've been able to market effectively. Part of that marketing effectively means that we're able to track every one of our sources in real time. We know which sources are working for us and which ones are not. Not only have we been able to track them to see which ones are working effectively and which ones are not, we've been able to make sources that didn't work effectively before work highly effective today. In our industry, getting to a customer first is very important. With our Unified360, we have a system in place that guarantees us that we're on the phone with the customer within 10 seconds and then filling out a lead. That's truly a competitive edge, and it's because of our Unified360 solution. In addition to that, being able to track our sources effectively in real time means that we can adjust. Whether it's a pay-per-click campaign or any type of internet campaign, we can adjust our marketing efforts in real time to produce the results. This is unheard of in our industry and is the reason why we're surviving and growing in the toughest times while the world's largest moving and storage company went bankrupt last year and got bailed out by the banks. Our communication with our locations now has truly been enhanced. We went from a decentralized model to a centralized model to a unified model. What the unified model allows us to do is it allows the local offices to participate in the sales process. In fact, they can be on the sales queue with us. They can be on the top of the queue and we could take their overflow, or they can choose to give us 100% of their calls. But they now feel they have control. And by them feeling they have control, that makes them more cooperative, and certainly the effort has been enhanced. I would strongly recommend a Unified360 solution to any business owner who's looking for a competitive edge in tough times. This is the time to invest. While many companies are slashing themselves to death, slashing their marketing, slashing their employees' costs, slashing their whatever it may be. Just what are we going to cut today? What are we going to cut today? What are we going to cut today? I believe you've got to invest in technology. Technology truly can give you a competitive edge in these tough times. It has done it for us. We are certainly the industry leader, and I believe if an entrepreneur is looking for a way to enhance his business and get that edge, a Unified360 solution can do that. When choosing a communication solution, one thing that was very important to us, we wanted to make sure that we could have direct contact with the person who was accountable to us. Jim Barker is accountable to us. At any time I can call him up, whether it's a Saturday, a Sunday, late at night, call him up and say, listen, I have an idea, I want to be able to do these things. He's always available to me. That's why I appreciate working with Unified 360. They've done everything I've asked them to do. When we implemented, obviously I have my concerns, some skepticisms. You know, we went parallel with our old system for a while. They assured me everything would go well, and they were here on site with me until I was totally comfortable that everything was in place. I appreciate that. I strongly recommend Unified 360. So in conclusion, the Unified 360 solution has helped me really control the communications with my customers. We have enhanced it. It has helped our business. I like to think of it this way. If you have anything other than Unified 360, it's like still using this instead of this. Any questions?